I just received the new ZS10 Pro in the mail. So this video is going to be an unboxing. So I've been on the hunt for a new pair of in-ear monitors for quite a while now. And so far I've been using the Shure SE215s, I believe. And they treated me really well. They still work after all those years. They're very tough headphones. The only problem with them is that it's a very flat frequency sound, and I find that either the bass doesn't come out very clear or the high ends don't come out very accentuated. So I'm curious to see how the ZS10 Pros are going to compare to these. I'll take a listen after and we'll kind of see what the difference is. And also I've been using two other pair of headphones / in-ear monitors. The next one was the M6 Pro. So I picked this up about a year ago, and I've used these for quite a while too. They came with the memory foam tips, and the only thing with them is that even though the highs come through really clear, sometimes it kind of pierces your ear. It's very hard to play at high volumes because I find after a while I would kind of get a headache from these headphones. Now they're on different tips, which will kind of change the sound a little bit as well. But I find to get the most sound isolation, I needed to use the foam comply tips as opposed to the rubberized tips. And I also have my Shure SRH440. Now these sound absolutely awesome. I love that everything that comes out of this is crystal clear, and I find it's a good representation of what I'm gonna hear upstairs when I go into the studio. When I'm in here in the drum room, when I put them on and I start playing, there is a bit of sound isolation. First of all, they're bulky, so they can easy to move around on your head. And the other thing is that a lot of the drums sound comes through, and it's hard to hear what your mix is as opposed to your actual drums that are coming through in the room. So you can achieve that, but you do have to turn them up quite a bit, which if you're doing long sessions, it's going to get hard on your head after a while. The awesome thing is that instead of paying $200-300 for a good pair of in-ear monitors, these cost me, I think it was $40 Canadian on Aliexpress. I know you can buy them on Amazon as well. I think Amazon, they go for around $60, maybe $70 Canadian. So I mean, they're very cheap for in-ear monitors for sure. So that's why I'm really curious to hear the sound that's going to come out of them, and curious to see how comfortable they are as well. So let's take a look and let's unbox this. All right, so let's try to put them in and see what happens. I have to say the cable itself is a little thinner than the actual Shure ones. They're both the same size, but the Shure one feel much stronger than opposed to these ones. These ones feel a little bit flimsy. So I did order a different cable that comes with that. Apparently it's a much thicker cable, and people say it's improving the sound quality as well. This cable also has an inline microphone and a stop button. Here I have the headphone plugged in. They kind of feel nice and heavy and tough. I'm very surprised by that. They just feel like solidly built headphones. Now when I bought these headphones, I was looking for three things. I was looking for good sound isolation. I didn't want the sound coming from the kit as opposed to what's coming out of my headphones. I wanted something that sounded really good. That's something that gets me excited to play and that really gets me into the song. And I wanted something that would make a clear reference to what I hear in the studio. So I wanted it to sound exactly in my ears like it sounds up there when I'm... They're actually really comfy. Like they just sit in my ears, I barely feel them. They don't put any pressure inside my ears or anything like that. So they feel really good. Now these headphones are actually a 10 driver headphone. So there's 5 drivers per year. There's 1 dynamic driver and 4 balanced armature drivers. Balanced armature drivers give you better sound isolation because there's no need to vents to move the air around. And they're also more power efficient, so it takes less power to move the components around. The cons, however, is they don't have a very wide frequency response. So typically, the more drivers that you could put in a headphone, the larger the frequency response that you can get. So for example, you could dedicate 1 driver to the low end, 1 driver to the mid-range, 1 driver to the high range. So I'm gonna go play some drums for a while. I'm super excited to try these IEMs, and I'll let you know what they sound like. I just had a chance to listen to the KZ ZS10 Pro, and let me tell you, they sound amazing. I can't believe that the sounds coming out of those headphones. I even compared them to, so I have a pair of Bose QC35s, which are high-end quality Bluetooth headphones, and they're even comparable to those, and those cost me close to $400 when I purchased them. So for a pair of $40 in-ear monitors, I'm absolutely blown away with the sound that's coming out of there. I don't know how they're making that happen, but it's very impressive. If anybody wants to get a good set of beginner entry-level in-ear monitors, I would even say these have a very nice professional sound as well. I would totally recommend it. So definitely check them out. The KZ ZS10 Pro.